The crypto queen, OneCoin, and the $4 billion scam that vanished. A glamorous genius, a fake cryptocurrency, a global fraud, and a vanishing act worthy of a Hollywood film. She wore a black dress, ruby red lipstick, and diamond earrings. She stepped onto a stage in London in front of thousands. Her name was Dr. Ruja Ignatova, and she promised to revolutionize the world of finance. But within 3 years, she vanished, taking $4 billion and the hopes of millions with her. This is not just a crypto story. It's a mystery, a global con, and one of the greatest disappearances of the 21st century. In 2014, Bitcoin was still in its early stages. It was confusing, technical, and mostly used by coders and cyberpunks. Enter OneCoin. Marketed as the Bitcoin for everyone, it offered fast returns, low prices, and, most importantly, no technical knowledge required. Its founder, Dr. Ruja, claimed OneCoin was built on a revolutionary blockchain, but one that was private for security reasons. That should have been the first red flag, but when greed and hype collide, logic dies. Born in Bulgaria, raised in Germany, educated at Oxford, a doctorate in law, fluent in multiple languages, and a stint at McKinsey. This wasn't some basement scammer. This was someone who knew the world she was playing in. But she also understood psychology. She knew how to earn trust and how to break it without making a sound. She dressed like royalty. She spoke like a visionary. Her conferences weren't held in boardrooms. They were arena shows. She even landed on the cover of Forbes Bulgaria. It looked like credibility, but it was just a paid advert. To the average investor, she was the female Steve Jobs of crypto. But behind that carefully crafted image, she was orchestrating what US prosecutors would later call a multi-level international financial fraud of epic scale. OneCoin never had a real blockchain. There was no mining, no network, no transparency. The price of the coin, made up by OneCoin's own team. People weren't buying coins. They were buying educational packages with PDFs and video courses about cryptocurrency. These packages cost anywhere from 100 euros to over 100,000. And with each package, you got tokens you could supposedly use to mine OneCoins. But you couldn't withdraw. You couldn't trade. You couldn't use them outside the system. It was a closed loop, and yet people still joined. Why? Because OneCoin used multi-level marketing, or MLM. You earned commissions for recruiting others. The more people you brought in, the more you earned. And that created a pyramid of hype. OneCoin didn't just sell a product. It sold belonging, belief, and status. To millions, that was enough. The OneCoin craze spread fast. In Uganda, farmers sold goats to buy in. In Pakistan, families used wedding dowries. In India, churches promoted it during sermons. In Europe, even lawyers and bankers invested. By 2016, OneCoin was pulling in hundreds of millions every single month. Entire communities got swept up in the dream. Crypto was the future, and they thought they had found the golden ticket. OneCoin's events looked like concerts, flashing lights, screaming crowds, confetti. Ruja would walk on stage to opera music, diamonds sparkling, and say, "You are part of something bigger than yourself." And people believed it, because nobody wanted to miss the next Bitcoin, even if the numbers didn't quite add up. By late 2016, the cracks started showing. Tech experts warned that there was no blockchain. Regulators started asking questions. Bank accounts tied to OneCoin were frozen. India and China began investigating. And inside the company, whistleblowers were speaking up. Emails were leaked, secrets spilled. In the US, prosecutors quietly launched a case. They began tracking OneCoin's money trail and building a list of suspects. And behind the scenes, Dr. Ruja knew it. One email read, "Take the money and run and blame someone else if it all goes down." She knew her time was running out, and she had a plan. October 25th, 2017. Dr. Ruja was scheduled to speak at a massive OneCoin event in Lisbon. Thousands waited. She never showed. That morning, she boarded a Ryanair flight from Sofia to Athens, and then she vanished. No hotel bookings, no credit card activity, no phone records. It was like she disappeared from the face of the earth. Interpol couldn't find her. Europol failed. In 2022, the FBI added her to their most wanted list. They offered $100,000 for any tip that could lead to her arrest. Some say she had plastic surgery and now lives in Dubai. Others think she's dead or protected by organized crime. No one knows. To this day, the crypto queen is still missing. With Ruja gone, her brother Constantine stepped in. He tried to hold it all together, but in 2019, he was arrested by US authorities. He pleaded guilty to fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy. He named names, he revealed the inner workings, and he confirmed what many feared. OneCoin was never real. It was a machine designed to move money from millions of victims into a handful of offshore accounts. Some insiders were arrested, others disappeared, but most walked away untouched. Meanwhile, the victims were left behind. Some lost homes, others lost marriages. The entire savings vanished. And tragically, a few even took their own lives. And in some parts of the world, OneCoin still operates under new names with new faces. The nightmare hasn't ended for everyone. OneCoin wasn't just a scam, it was a mirror. It showed how quickly hype and charisma can override facts and logic. It showed how easy it is to fall for something when you're promised everything. Ruja didn't sell coins, she sold dreams. She used crypto as a costume and trust as a weapon. She knew that in a confusing world, people don't want facts. They want leaders, and that's how scams thrive. In the end, the biggest lesson isn't about crypto. It's about human behavior. If something promises easy money, fast returns, and zero risk, run. Because scams don't look like scams anymore. They look like opportunities. The crypto queen is still out there? Maybe. She could be in the Middle East. She could be long gone. Her name is whispered in courtrooms, forums, and podcasts. But her face is still on the FBI's most wanted list. This wasn't just a financial fraud. It was a story of trust, of mass psychology, of how billions can vanish overnight. So the next time someone offers you the next big thing, ask questions, demand transparency, and remember the name, Dr. Ruja Ignatova, the woman who walked away with $4 billion and vanished without a trace. If this story fascinated you, smash that like button, subscribe for more financial mysteries, and tell us in the comments, where do you think Ruja is hiding?